girl. This was a hunting trip I had done a while back there, and it was the last week of November, and that for here that's the end of the hunting season. So I had a white-tailed deer tag, and I had a an elk tag, and so I headed out to this area that I wanted to set up camp, and of course we had gotten a pretty big dump of snow there, and it got really cold. It was down to I think minus 28 at one point. That's minus 28 Celsius. And anyways, it was kind of a disaster of a trip there right from the get-go. I ended up I couldn't get into the camp. The drifts were just too big, so I ended up getting stuck, and I had to put the tire chains on, and I had to cut some trees down and dig the snow away. And I finally got in there. I was just by myself. It was just me and Chevelle. And so finally I got to the spot where I was going to set up my camp, and by then it's just about dark, and I still had to get my poles and everything to put the tent up. And I'd never put up a wall tent. I'd stayed in them a few times, and this was my own tent that I had got, but I'd never used it, and I'd never set it up yet. So that was quite a challenge by myself, and then also I ended up getting sick, so that didn't help, and then just kind of went on and on and on, and then the wind picked up, but nonetheless it was still a really fun trip, and sit back and enjoy the show.
This wind is getting brutal. I really hope this thing stays standing. Not gonna be cool if that ridgepole comes landing on my head here. Oh, I still got a cold. Nice and warm, eh, Chevelle? Oh, that's not good. My chimney pipe is coming out. I guess I better shove that back in before we gotta burn down the place here. Yeah, not good. It's a cold night, minus 23, and probably even worse than that with the wind. It's just been windy all night long. So I slept this close to the stove, and I didn't even have to get out of bed. Just open the door and stoke it with wood. I had my alarm set for every 2.5 hours. At one point, actually every 2 hours, just because my wood isn't super dry, and it just burns up too fast. This place is way too big to heat. 12 by 14 tent, but the heat just leaves the place like crazy. Wow. Holy. Jeez. I hope I don't rip my tent. Yeah, I don't like this wind at all.
So as I was saying there, I never really set up a wall tent before. This was kind of like the first and the last time I'd ever set one up, and it doesn't really work great for somebody who's doing a solo trip. It's nice to have second set of hands for putting up one of those tents. But we kind of started out just sleeping by the fire. Actually, I was always a bit scared of grizzly bears coming near me, and a Indian fellow had told me one time that just sleep by the fire and the bears will never come around you, at least not the grizzlies. And so that's what we did for a number of years. And then eventually after that, I put a wood stove in my motorhome, and then we had that thing, and then I had another motorhome, and so that was fine when we could drive to the camp spots. But sometimes it was remote, and so then I had just a tarp sometimes, and then I went from a tarp to putting a cot under there, and then I even went as far as putting a wood stove at the end of the tarp, just enough to keep the rain off of us. And it was colder, but we did it. And and then, like, if we went on horseback trips into the mountains and stuff like that, then usually a friend would have a wall tent. So again, we were just sleeping in the wall tents. So in the end, I came up with an ice shack. Like, I think it's a 6 or an 8 man ice shack. And I put my little stove in there, the little hippie killer stove. It's not really the one I want. I'm gonna build a stove for it, but that's gonna be what I call my ultimate setup, because it's super light. I don't like hauling a trailer. Where I go, it's just too much of a pain in the butt, especially if I'm by myself. I can get in a real bad situation. So the ice shack seems to be doing it for me. I have to do more kind of extreme camping with that thing to really put it to the test.
Well, I don't know if I'll have a tent left when all's said and done here. I don't have this thing up as tight as it should be, and the walls are just bowing in and out, and it's gonna screw my tent. It's trying to rip a chimney pipe right out of the stove. I've actually had to put it back in a few times now. That wall's in back there is moving. The problem is my ridge pole needs to be up another foot, and that would tighten everything up. But to do it by myself, I'll just end up caving the whole thing in on top of it itself. So need 2 or 3 guys here to do this job. Even then it'd be sketchy. There's a little rip over in the corner there. I see there's a little tear right there by the freaking screen. I don't know how either one of them got there. Yeah. Pain in the ass. I don't know how the old guys did her. Well, another nice day out. Super windy. I fought all night to stay warm in that tent. And yeah, it was cold. Anyway, I'm going to do a cold start in the old Dodge. It hasn't started for 2 days. It's about 120 kilometers away from 600,000 kilometers. About 300 roughly were all bush roads, and the other 300 were roughly a highway, I guess you'd say. Anyway, here she goes. Hopefully my phone will stay there. I'm gonna cycle the fuel pump once. Gonna bump the starter and cycle the fuel pump, because it has a starting problem even when it's warm sometimes, so that seems to help it. So we'll try that. I'm only gonna cycle the glow plugs once. 1540 oil, non-synthetic. Wish me luck. That's pretty good for a truck that has 600,000 kilometers, no synthetic oil. And it was minus 24 here last night. It's definitely minus, at least I'd say minus 20 right now. I don't know for sure what it's at. Well, I just took a video of this thing starting. It's 100 kilometers away from 600,000 kilometers. It's cold enough that it's running on 3 cylinders right now. Sounds kind of loud and funny. I've never had to do this before, but hunting camp, and it was about minus 24 last night without the wind. Anyway, I went in and I bumped the key just to make the fuel pump run. It said it was at 16 psi on the gauge, and then I just cycled the glow plugs once normally, and it started immediately. So pretty wicked engines. 600,000 kilometers, 300 of that is bush roads, 300 is highway miles. It's definitely cold out here. I took a video of it, and it was so cold that my phone actually died. So I better pause this one before this video dies here.
Oh man, I'm sure they gotta go piss. Because I gotta go piss.
Okay, here we go. Attempt number 3 at Hamburger Hill. The old 2007 Jeep JK. Oh, I think we got it this time. Oh, we got some momentum. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no. Oh yeah. Uh-oh. He's into the trees now. That's okay. That's where the best traction is.
Yeah.
Oh. Just get a few scratches. That's all.
Chris said he's gonna paint it for me.
Oh no. Actually, you maybe
just miss that tree.
Maybe just keep your tire up in the trees for traction there, eh? Think you can do it?
I'm gonna stay to the far left there.
Oh, he's going far left then. It's hard to say. There's no telling what Dave's gonna do.
Yeah.
Keep her as straight as he can. Oh, he's getting her. Yeah, this should help us out, these little bumps. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, there we go. Look at this.
You're right.
He's taking passing lane.
You're right.
Well, sometimes those tracks, they just screw you up, eh?
Yeah.
And when you hit those little washouts, it actually gives you like a little turbo boost. Oh, he just dropped the hammer. Tranny's on the road back there. That's a good hill. I always get screwed up. I don't know how I made it up the other day. I had to put my chip on full race to get up there. I'm serious. Yeah, I couldn't. I needed all the force, power, prestige.
We're going 6 now.
Oh, he's going for 6. Watch your knuckles up. Where's that tree that we're gonna cut down?
Not around here.
No, it's not. Well, there you have it, folks. Over now.
You're right, though. Get off the main track, eh?
Yeah.
Make your own. It's just like quadding, right?
Well, froze again last night. I got shitty wood. I gotta get some good wood. This wood's way too wet. I'll get some good dry wood and hopefully get a nice warm sleep. Starting to get windy again. Oh, there's a nice big moon. Hell of a view from here. Just been cold, that's all. It's a really nice camp. Yeah. See if the old Dodge will start. Okay, shut up, guys. We're live. We're live here. We're live.
Get off of me! Get off!
What do you have to say about that? I have nothing to say.
I got
What's
you,
that?
right?
What do you have to hiccup about that?
No comment.
No hiccups?
No hiccups.
Chevelle, attack!
Okay, you're right.
Hold on, I got a mustache rustle here. Okay,
Mustache.
gentlemen, start your mustaches.
Oh, can I have a drink of your beer?
I just zoomed into his mustache.
Let's have a shot. Come on, have a shot.
Does he even have one?
Yeah, right there in his hand. Have
Okay.
a drink, Cody.
Shut her up! Shoot it!
Day 25.
Cody, have a drink.
He's got the beer backwards. Nothing in that. Go ask Alice. I think she'll know. Oh. Why is my door open? The door is open on my truck. Oh. Caught my hair in the zipper. Just ask Alice. I think she'll know.
Go ask Alice. I think she'll know.
Okay, folks. That's the wood stove. That's my tent. And the wind is crazy. It's not a tornado, but it's close. So I took a water jug, threw it on top of the tent, and that didn't even hold it because my water jug is here now. And the water jug was over there when I put it down. So I'm gonna put that water jug over there again. And let's see what happens. Ooh. The old wind is talking. I think God is pissed off at me because I I think God's pissed off because I think he's pissed off because we didn't invite him to the party, eh, Chevelle? That's probably why.
Well, that wind never stopped all night or even the next day, and that poor tent took a beating, and everything inside just went flying there after a while, and it was quite the show.
She's getting kind of wild in here, folks. That blue water jug just landed at my feet there about 10 minutes ago. Probably about 8 feet away. The wood stove's creaking and making noises, and dog's over there, and she's kind of looking at me funny, and yeah, it's getting windy. There! I got all the logs I can find. Wet and heavy birch. Full water jug. Some more birch. And the wind keeps kicking and wood and everything else right into my wood stove. Look at it. So I'm getting mad. And I'm drunk. So I'm gonna sleep with my cot. Damn it. and my rifle right up against the end of the tent, just so I don't have to burn to the ground tonight in my sleep.
Well, what a disaster that was. That wind, it just never stopped, and it just kept going for days and days, and finally I just packed up the tent and headed home. But we did get a few days of hunting after this in. Although the next day I wasn't feeling too Olympic there. So, yeah, we just kind of hung around camp, and I did get rid of my cold though, which was nice, and I guess, you know, there's no bug or virus or anything that could live in that much whiskey. So yeah, I got rid of the sickness there, and we got out, but we ended up getting stuck on the way out, and I had to dig out the drift, and I think I had to cut a tree and stuff just so I wouldn't wreck the side of my truck. But we did finally get out of there. It was quite the adventure right from the get-go.
I'm calling the cops. They're gonna take care of it. Eh, Chevelle? No, whatever. Whatever, Dad. So who cares? You're drunk.